We'd know when the record was going to come on the radio. So at 17 minutes past 11, say, they were going to play the record, and we'd pull the car over. Wow, it was such, we're on record. It was so great.
The one, the only, Ringo Starr.
I've met you before.
Good evening. Hey, Ringo. I thought you were dead. How you doing, Michael?
A sharp suit, Ringo.
I hate gardening.
You enjoy a bit of the old nostalgia, don't you?
Oh, I love nostalgia. I think I was nostalgic at birth.
That's why you got born again.
Is this my spot or yours?
Oh, sorry.
Have you kept memorabilia?
I keep everything. No, I do. I'm a hoarder. And, I've saved all my clothes through the years, and I thought, it always goes round, the kids would love this. But the only time they ask me for any clothes is if there's a fancy dress party. They have all the hippie stuff on. Hey, we're going to a fancy dress party, let's ask Dad.
Would you take the shades off for a second?
Yeah.
Oh, these lovely orbs under
Oh, he's got the bluest eyes in the world.
But they're closed.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have to keep them closed. The air gets at them.
Now, what you haven't kept, of course, the fans have. Were they always desperate for souvenirs?
Well, I think we were real lucky. I think the only thing I ever lost in all those days of madnesses was half of my scalp, a shirt, and a gold necklace, which they gave me back in New York. We really weren't beat up too much. Wales was the worst place I ever went.
What were they after?
They were after my head. And, we had all these policemen, we'd walk down this, corridor of policemen, and some hand just came through and just grabbed my head. This child would have died.
I don't remember Wales.
It's before you joined the group.
Oh, yeah. That was Rory Storm and the Hurricanes.
No, it was you, Georgie. But you were so much younger then.
You were always the down-to-earth one.
That's right.
What did you...
God, you're looking chubby.
Thank you. What did you make of... I was saying about you being down-to-earth. What did you make of the Indian episode?
Well, the Indian episode was real interesting. I got 2 phone calls, one from George and one from John. We're going to Wales. See, he's always been to Wales. He doesn't remember. To meet the Maharishi, so I just got on the train because the guy wouldn't lie to me. So we met him in Wales, and then we all decided to go to this ashram in India. I think that I still thank Maharishi, for what he said, but in the end I felt he was telling me stories, but that's my problem.
In the end, how long did you actually stick that course?
10 days.
He ran out of beans.
Yeah.
He came,
I was going to get to that.
He came all the way up the Himalayas with a big
suitcase
cans
of beans and a suitcase of clothes. And I was
didn't like flies and spiders.
No, can't stand them. But the interesting part was, you see, I can only eat bland food because I was very sick as a child. And so I'd have my beans, and then I was getting fed up with that. And so I said, have you got any eggs? Like eggs in the morning, And so I caught these guys burying the shells in the ground as if God wouldn't notice. So I decided to leave after that. Oh, no, he doesn't see those.
You lived in each other's pockets, didn't you? It was like being a family.
Oh, he's always lived in mine.
But you had family rows. What were the
Yeah,
main...
we do. We have terrible rows.
What was the main cause of your squabbles in the early days?
Oh, I don't remember.
I'll leave that one up to you, George.
I don't remember any squabbles.
You don't remember anything, do you?
No. Instant amnesia.
What about now? What makes you cross with each other now?
Well, the last time we were cross was when George was suing me. See, what's nice, though, he calls me up...
was cross.
yeah, he's still cross. The last time he calls me and says, I'm going to sue you. I said, no, George, don't be so dumb. No, I'm going to sue you. I don't like what you've done. Because he wrote this song, and I had it mixed by somebody else. And he didn't like the mix, so he was going to sue me. So in the end, I said, sue me if you want, but I'll always love you.
Speaking of which, you two shared a flat, didn't you?
Yes, we did. Yes, we shared a flat.
It's on the M1, wasn't it?
Wadden House.
Yeah, I had to get the jack out and
yeah, it was fabulous sharing. Well, we shared a couple of places, actually. You know, when we first came down to London, you know, you're so insecure that we had to live together. You know, we weren't big boys and I'll have my own place. So I never left home. Who's going to make the tea and iron your shirts?
George, what was he like to live with?
Fabulous. Yeah, I mean, we only ever slept there anyway. We used to always be in the nightclubs, really, in those days.
Georgie, you know all his lines about I was never a discothequer?
Well, I wasn't.
You had to drag him out to them, you know.
Well, that was back in 64.
Before
65. You'd go into them around 1967, I think.
Yeah, I stopped in 1980.
But
Got married, have a wonderful wife, you know.
But then you rarely go to bed anyway, to sleep.
I never go to bed. Yeah. I'm an insomniac, mainly. When I'm not an insomniac, I sleep.
Well, I was going to ask, would anything have persuaded you to, all that is, to reform the Beatles even for one night? And what kind of offers did you get anyway?
Well, I think the only time we phoned each other up, because everyone kept trying to get us together, but somebody phoned up and they offered us just for one gig, and we only used to do 25 minutes. They offered us 50 million.
Dollars, was it?
Lira.
Could have been in anything. 25 quid each. And I do remember, but George never called anybody. I remember calling everyone else, and them calling me saying, oh, well, what do you think? You know, 25 minutes, buying a new suit.
So what stopped you then?
We will never get it together. And I mean, we broke up, you know, for all the reasons we know about. I mean, you know, to get together. I don't really believe in, like, this getting together thing, really. Now, if we got together, it would be George, Paul, and Ringo. If we got together, it would not be the Beatles, you know. We'll never do it with Julian, because it'll be George, Paul, what's my name? And Julian. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, you would never go out there again with that. Well, I won't. I don't know about Georgie. Would you go out, Georgie, with that name?
No, it wouldn't be the Beatles. But the thing is, it's not to say that, you know, I mean, Ringo and I hang out occasionally and play some tunes together.
I'm on the album.
He's on the album, he was on the concert, and Paul does concerts, and as I say, we're getting to be friendlier with Paul. It's a good chance someday maybe we'll write a tune and play together, but it won't be the Beatles, and if people expect us to be the Beatles, they're going to be disappointed, but you may see three old guys called John, Paul and Ringo who someday may sing a song together.
I bet I don't get to sing.
But you have other things to offer. I mean, looking
Oh, yes, Michael, you're telling them now.
What about acting? Now, you've...
acting?
You've done...
Couldn't get a job if I died.
You've always been a film fan, haven't you?
I love films. I love cameras, as you may have noticed.
You've got a lot of new fans, though, with Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, I have. It's great. It's great. It is fabulous with Thomas. I never knew it would be so big. In fact, the first time Britt Allcroft, who was the producer of all this, came up saying, you know, I'd like you to read these stories about this train, which I never had because I was a Beano man. And I said, you're going to be crazy. It's Star Wars and Madison. We were talking years ago anyway. And so she came back and convinced me. So I said, look, I'll just read 5 of the stories on my own, on tape, and you listen to them and see if you still want me. And she did. And then we did Thomas the Train. There's all these little babies screaming again. Ringo, Ringo! I used to have the mothers. Now I've got the kids.
You are, of course, the poorest Beatle.
I am the poorest Beatle, Michael.
That's why I'm on the show.
That won't do much for your last... Well, you're down to your last 20 million now, I think, aren't you?
No, I didn't even make the list, and Georgie's got 14, so I'm down to, what, 12?
Are you a great spender, though? I mean, you enjoy it.
That's why. I love to spend. That's the only reason to have it.
What's the biggest waste of money you can claim to have done?
The biggest waste?
Well, the biggest...
I mean, if you call this, like, some reality, that's all waste. What?
Apple.
Well, that was all of us. You can't blame me for that personally.
If it had all never happened, what would you be doing now?
I'd be a drummer. Well, what's funny about that? I mean, I decided when I was 18, this is my life. So, you know, just because we made it, you know, I don't think, I mean, you're asking a weird question because we don't know what would have happened if it hadn't happened.
All conjecture.
But I just feel that I still would have been playing behind the strippers.
George?
Or in front these days.
I think I probably would have been probably a better guitar player than I am now because,
Impossible.
you know, the famous bit sort of made we ended up just playing the same old stuff for years. But I started playing the guitar when I was about 13, and that's the only thing I really wanted to do. I didn't want to be a Thomas the Tank Engine or...
Thanks so much.
or a train, you know, a fireman or anything like that.
Would you have been happier men
Oh,
if it had not occurred?
I always feel I was born happy.
So happiness...
I don't, you know, happy. You know, I'm basically happy. You know, I am happy.
And George, you certainly are.
I'm quite happy,
tell.
yeah, I'm happy. But you can't say, you know, it's all, this is our lives, you know, this is the only life I can remember, and I'm happy enough doing it. It's been up and down and good and bad, and in the end, I think all of us have come out of it reasonably sane and quite happy.
Well, the rest of us are happy, and for all of us, it's been fab. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah.
Ringo Starr and
And
George Harrison.
Harrison.
Thank you.
We were just beating those drums, and as you heard at the end of it, I got blisters on my finger. I tend to get blisters if I haven't played in a while,